All right, so this week's Money Minutes. You've waited all week. Ryan Payne, Courtney Dominguez. We're here, end of August here. We're in Herald Square right now. Best weather of probably of the entire year. Magical time to be in New York City. You should come. And what we wanted to talk about today is there's been a lot of hype around cryptocurrencies, like Bitcoin. We thought it died.
Yeah.
And now everybody's talking about Bitcoin again. And the question is, do I need to get into the action on this, or is this just something to stay away from? We're going to talk to you about that today.
Now, just a refresher, we have some other videos, and you guys can click below to check those out, where we talk about this whole concept in the financial world where once it's hit the news, usually the opportunity has already passed. And so we want to talk to you guys today about some myths when it comes to cryptocurrencies, and we're going to debunk some of those for you guys today, see if it's something you should be considering or maybe not.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what Bitcoin is. It's actually a really cool concept, this whole blockchain technology. So the idea is we have this one universal currency. So if I'm buying something in another country and I don't want to have to exchange my US dollars to that other country's currency, instead we'd all be using Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Sounds great, right?
Yeah.
The problem is, in reality, that's not really happening.
Now, when it comes to cryptocurrency, it may not be the best place to store your money. And the reason is it has been very volatile. So if you have just money in your checking or savings account, no, it's not going to get a growth for you, but it's not going to change in value. You're not going to look at it one day and it's worth half the amount that it was 2 weeks ago. So Bitcoin is a good example. It's hitting the news again because it's up about 250% year to date, but it's still down by about 50% from their high. So you've had a whole lot of swings. And if that's just your money that you want to be using to spend on things, it's not a great idea because it's going to fluctuate so much in value.
If it's not a great place to store your money because we know it goes like this, why are so many people putting their money into Bitcoin? It's all a bunch of speculators, people that are buying it just to say, hey, I want this, I'm hoping this is going to go up in value. And then when they think it's going up and up in value, they're selling it to somebody else. They call it the greater fool theory, meaning it's one person is hoping to buy it, so another fool is going to buy it at a higher value. In fact, almost 90% of the transactions with Bitcoin are just on an exchange with people speculating in the actual currency, which means there's no real viable use for it. In fact, for merchants or commercial use, it's like less than 2%. Nobody's using it to actually do business. That's kind of like going to the casino and betting on red.
You get a lot of just regular people who are saying, well, maybe this is something I should be investing in too. So then they're buying into it, which ends up raising the price further. And you get kind of this snowball effect where it's a lot of speculation that's happening. But in reality, there's still not a lot of use for Bitcoin. It is still very volatile, and it's not nearly as liquid as a lot of other investments you guys can be looking at.
It's almost like a house of cards being built up and up and up. And just like we saw back in December of 2017, eventually the price came way, way down. In fact, it lost about 85% of its value in the course of only a couple months. There's no reason that can't happen again.
We don't mean to disappoint you guys who are getting hyped up with all the Bitcoin that's out there, but when it comes to your long-term financial planning, it's much more speculative than it needs to be right now. There's a lot of other investment choices that probably make more sense for you. Now, if you're thinking to yourself, I need to know what makes sense. If it's not Bitcoin, then what is it? I don't really know. We actually do complimentary financial reviews every week, so you guys can send an email to moneyminutes@payneCM.com with this header, and we'll see if you qualify for one of those free complimentary financial reviews.
And if you like our content, you can click the subscribe button. That's this week's Money Minutes. As always, be bullish.